That was the moment that, that he was that voice of change, and it touched not only his community, but millions and billions and trillions of others. And a million! And millions and millions. And after that, there was a shift. We call this the economic justice and criticism. And King, he did not stop simply at the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Yay. Nay, he started talking economic justice, fair wages, decent housing, union rights. And when he opposed the Vietnam War in 1967 during his Riverside Church speech, people turned on him.
And he said the U.S. was the greatest purveyor of violence in the world. Even some of his allies backed away after that. But Dr. King didn't soften his stance.
In fact, instead of softening his stance, he actually stood 10 toes down. In that same year, he launched the Poor People's Campaign, calling for economic rights for poor Black and white folks alike. He knew racism and poverty were connected, which a lot of the times media likes to portray that racism and poverty are not. But in fact, they were and still are.
And then by April 1968, he was in Memphis supporting striking sanitation workers. The night before his death, he gave that chilling, "I've been to the mountaintop" speech.
And the next day, April 4th, 1968, he was shot on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel barn at 39. Too soon. Far too soon.
And Coretta Scott King, his partner, his wife, kept the movement alive, led marches, preserved his legacy. Over 100,000 people showed up to honor him, and we are still honoring him to this day because, as we have stated, he is a living, dead, still voice of change.
I think the best way to categorize MLK and what he does is that he was an icon, and he was a vigil for those without a voice, and he did become that voice of change, especially during the tumultuous times of the Jim Crow laws, segregation, and the the socioeconomic vices that they had around the Black community, tying poverty to the socioeconomic status and race. And so when you think about Martin Luther King, right, and what he did, who did he impact? His impact was massive. It didn't just impact his immediate community there in Atlanta, Georgia. No, it swerved and went and transferred all across the entire world. His "I Have a Dream" speech, his "I've Been to the Mountaintop" speech, all these were the steps that, helped him to be that icon, that visual of those, to look forward, to be that peace in the world. And, what do we see now in his stead? We have MLK Day, a national holiday. Streets in every city are named after him. We have statues. But beyond that, we see that his ideas are constantly moving and keeping people moving. Nonviolence, radical love, and global unity. So thank you, MLK, for your voice of change. You are never to be forgotten, and your words still live on to this day.
And let's also sprinkle in some quick facts before we wrap this up.